The iconic, famous poem that was sought up on the spot in 1773 and passed generation after generation. The gravely familiar poem that goes down as one of the finest poems in the Irish language. Many know the poem very well. Many know the story, but no one knows with 100% certainty the truth of everything that happened on that fateful day. Were the surrounding events legalized murder? How was Art actually murdered? What was the real reasoning he was killed for? Was Art planning the same thing? No one knows. At least, no one that is alive today. This is the Lament of Art O'Leary.
Art was a 26-year-old lad who lived in Macroom, Ireland near County Cork. He was happily married to Eileen and had 3 young children. Of important significance, Art was a Catholic, a short-tempered, arrogant one at that. And this is where his troubles began. Art's cocky attitude clashed with one man in particular, another overly confident individual, one Abraham Morris. Abraham Morris was the sheriff of County Cork. Their troubles were not far and in between. Starting in 1771, Morris claimed that Art attacked him as well as his companion. He pressed charges and a price was put on his arrest. The struggle was just getting started.
Years passed, and Art brought back a beautiful horse from Vienna. He was captain of the cavalry from the Austrian army, so he valued his horse greatly. The horse successfully defeated Abraham Morris, and the feud gained traction. There was a law that a Catholic could not own a horse worth more than £5. Enter Abraham Morris. Abusively, some say unfairly, he used his position of power and demanded Art sell his beautiful horse for that £5 price. Remember, this was legal as Morris was Protestant and Art a Catholic. Art's stubborn attitude burst through and he was outraged by the insulting demand of his rival. He struck Morris with his horsewhip and challenged Morris to a duel, which Morris declined. Morris didn't need the duel. He used his position of power to convince the area that Art was now an outlaw and a bounty was therefore placed on his head. Was Art, in fact, breaking the law, and his actions truly warranting of the conviction? Or did the competitive edge of a rival get in between the law and what is right and wrong? Did Morris take advantage of the law? With the new bounty placed on his head, Art fled. Was Art going to go on the run? Wait it out in his home? Plan an attack on Morris? The reports, they're mixed. Some accounts say Art was on the run. Some say they heard him talk in a pub about taking down Morris himself. Some in fact say that he was on the way to Morris when he was killed. But one story is more common than the rest.
May 4th, 1773, Morris was outraged and wanted Art dead. Through some monetary persuasion, so did his army that Morris assembled. They set off to intersect Art on his horse and made contact with him finally around Carrie-Naima. A shot rang out. Some say it was close, some say it was distant. Regardless of the distance, Art dropped dead motionless from a mortal wounding. It was over. Morris won, and Art was dead. But the story of one of the most interesting poems in Gaelic history was just beginning.
Immediately after Art's body hit the dust, his horse bolted off. Racing wildly, he didn't stop until he came to Art's front doorstep. Eileen heard the horse hooves aggressively pounding on the door and anxiously peeled open the door. Her anxious fears were immediately realized when she saw the distraught horse filled with speckles of Art's fresh blood. Eileen, already a widower and now overcome with fear of the worst, hopped onto the bloody horse, and with a clap of her hands, they both were off.
As the horse slowed, Eileen saw Art. She saw his motionless body, dead. Her emotions took over, devastation set in, and that's when it happened.
Her lamentation began. Not from her lips, not from her mouth, her brain, nay, this came straight from her soul. It was beautiful, coming immediately from the top of her head, on the spot, no pencil and paper. The way Eileen was able to lament, shower her emotions through word and poetic elements, she learned from her mother, who herself went through an array of unfortunate circumstances in experiencing significant death in her family. This Irish tradition that dates back hundreds of years has been an integral part of Irish history and how people have mourned as well as in literature. And Eileen's Lament for Art O'Leary is arguably the best, significantly advanced specifically for the time period.
And one of the things that makes this even more impressive is that it wasn't written down for a considerable amount of time, continually being passed down by the word of mouth. Eventually, the poem hit the paper, and it was an impressive 390 lines long. But this didn't happen until the 18th century. The mystery is that the exact translation of this famous poem will never be known. That is the Lament of Art O'Leary. Wow, what a beautiful day. I love this class, I love folklore, and I love the scenery surrounding us here in Limerick.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I love folklore.
Yeah, it's been a great class. What do you think of this project that we just did?
Oh, this project was a lot of fun. I loved immersing myself into the culture of Ireland and not just being stuck in a classroom.
Let me pour you some lemon lime.
I would love that. I love not being stuck in a classroom, not being stuck in a book. It's a great way to learn, but I think you learn a lot more when you get into something and really dig deep and study it a lot and kind of go outside of your comfort zone, and that's kind of what we did in this project.
Definitely. I really enjoyed this project. We had a lot of fun doing it. I actually learned a lot through the process. Learned how to work together, learned how to take something serious for once. It was a great time. Good time.
Speaking of time,
we better hurry up here.
yeah.
We had some challenges facing time, but that's okay. And some decisions had to be made with how we were going to approach the video. Grant was really good with his video production, so he took over that task. I found these pictures online and from different sources, and was able to. We were both able to help with the script, which was definitely a useful task.
Yeah, it was nice having two people with different strengths and different angle on how we wanted to do it, because we really were able to support each other and come up with interesting new things to do. So that was really nice, but basically we just had a mutual vision of kind of wanting to change the normal project that you do for school. We didn't want something that was super bland and uninteresting. We wanted to captivate an audience in both a humorous but really exciting way, so that we could get the most important part, the educational part, across and have an audience that is engaged and interested.
Yeah, so thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the Lament of Art O'Leary. Cheers.